Hello, everyone, and welcome to Central Plains. Tonight, the Ellenwood Lady Eagles take on the Central Plains Lady Oilers. We will go over the starters first for the Central Plains Lady Oilers, starting first with a 5'2" senior, Rachel Lamach, a 5'8" sophomore, Cassidy Nixon, a 5'6" senior, Delaney Rugen, a 5'9" senior, Emily Ryan, and a 5'11" senior, Addison Kreitz. And now for your Lady Eagles, starting off with number 2, a 5'5" junior, Ashton Klepper. Number 21, a 5'7" junior, Maya Maxwell. Number 25, a 5'5" sophomore, Mary Dimmitt. Number 33, a 5'7" junior, Daphne Dole. And number 34, a 5'8" sophomore, Allison McReynolds. This last Saturday, the Lady Eagles took on the Nest City Lady Eagles, and in that contest, they came out victorious by a score of 47-42. In that game, Ashton Klepper had 6. Maya Maxwell had 24, and Daphne Dole had 6 points on the contest. The Central Plains Lady Oilers head into this game undefeated, 6-0. That definitely off the back of Emily Ryan. Emily Ryan is a D1 Iowa State Cyclone commit, so she will be playing at Iowa State next year after she graduates here from Central Plains. Ellenwood will win the tip, and that's how the game will get started. Klepper will bring the ball up past the court and swing it over to Dole on the far side. Dole will get a screen from McReynolds and drive into the paint with contact, swing it out to Dimmitt. Dimmitt drives to the free throw line. That one stolen there by number 5, Cassidy Nixon. Rugen with the ball now, swings it over to Ryan for 3. That one no good. Rebounded by Maya Maxwell. She'll push the fast break up to Mary Dimmitt. Finds Maxwell again, finds Dole at the top of the key. Dole will drive into the paint and put it up for 2. That one no good, but she will be fouled in the process, and she will head to the free throw line. That foul will be on Emily Ryan. That's her first personal and the first team foul against Central Plains. The first one from Dole rattles in and out, no good, as this game is still scoreless. Second free throw on the way from Dole is also no good, rebounded by Kreitz. It is Central Plains basketball. Ryan will find it over to Lamach for 3. That one air ball, no good, rebounded by Maxwell again. Maxwell push it up to Klepper on the far side. Back to Maxwell at the top of the key. She'll swing it over to Dimmitt on the near side three-point line. Dimmitt will now swing it over to Klepper. Klepper finds Maxwell in the far corner for 3. That one off the far side of the rim, no good, rebounded by Central Plains. Lamach with the ball. She'll find Emily Ryan, who sends a quick pass over to Cassidy Nixon. A great play there from Central Plains. That puts the first points up on the board for Central Plains. Emily Ryan with the ball in the paint now. She'll put it up for 2. That one's good for her off the steal from Nixon. As Ellenwood head coach Andrew Cherry will take his first timeout of the ball game with 6:45 left to go in the first quarter. Ellenwood trails Central Plains by a score of 0-4. Quick timeout for both teams as both teams are back out on the floor, and Maya Maxwell will be set to inbound underneath Central Plains' basket. She will inbound into Klepper. Ellenwood trying to break the full court press against Central Plains. A pass now back to Maxwell. Maxwell sending one way up court to Baker. She'll put it up for 2 with contact. That one no good, but she was fouled in the process, and she'll head to the free throw line for 2. Bella Baker, a 5'5" freshman for the Eagles. She came into the ball game and took the place of Allison McReynolds. First free throw from her, bounces in off the front of the rim. That's her first basket of the night and the first basket for the Lady Eagles. Second one from her is also good, putting her at 2 on the night, completing both of her free throws. Ryan will send it up to Rugen. Rugen for 2. That one no good, but it came down with a jump ball off of the rebound. And it will go in favor of Central Plains. Sending to inbound will be Nixon. She will look for someone to send it over to Lamish. Lamish now over to Kreitz on the far block. She's going to travel after falling down into the paint. That's a turnover against the Lady Oilers, and it will be a Lady Eagle basketball. Maxwell will inbound into Klepper. Klepper double teamed by Ryan and Nixon. Klepper now sends it up top to Baker. Baker sends it to Dimmitt, breaking the full court press, as Ellenwood can now get a play call off. Klepper with the ball at the Central Plains logo, gets a tapped pass now to Baker. Baker will give it back to Klepper for 2. That one no good, off the hands of Emily Ryan, and it will stay in possession of the Lady Eagles. Maya Maxwell wearing a face mask in this one after a tough fall and a fracture to the nose that she suffered 2 weeks ago, back in 2019. Turnover there against Ellenwood, and it will be Oiler basketball. The inbound will be from Lamish into Ryan. Ryan guarded closely by Baker. She'll send a bullet pass to Kreitz on the near block. She'll put it up for 2. That one's good. That's Kreitz's first 2 on the night. Turnover against Ellenwood as they try to break the full court press. She got trapped out of bounds, and it will be Central Plains basketball. Central Plains is definitely just as much of a threat defensively as they are offensively. Wide open on the near 3. Rugen missed the 3. Rebound by Lamish. She saved it right into the hands of Ryan. Ryan sends it back over to Rugen for 2. That one no good. Gets her own rebound. That one no good. Tries to get her own rebound. Jump ball between Baker and Kreitz, and it will go in favor of Ellenwood. Maxwell will inbound. Central Plains still remains in their full court press. The inbound will be into Klepper. Klepper tries to send it over to Maxwell. That one off the forearm of Emily Ryan, and it will remain Lady Eagle basketball. Maxwell will inbound again. Back to Klepper. Klepper back to Maxwell. Maxwell pass fakes. Picks up her dribble. That one's stolen by Emily Ryan. Pass there from Nixon to Rugen. Not able to be converted. Now Rugen with it off the pass from Ryan will get it to go. As Rugen now on the night picks up her first 2. Dole will send it over to Klepper. Klepper up top to Maxwell. Maxwell between the legs. Now sends it over to Dimmitt. Dimmitt will take a pull-up 3. That one is good for her. Her first basket. As now Ellenwood trails 5-8 with 5 minutes left to go. Emily Ryan will break the full court press and send it up top to Nixon. Nixon finds it over to Rugen. Rugen over to Lamish. Lamish over to Ryan. Ryan inside to Nixon on the far block. That one's good for her. Nixon now has 4 on the night, and she's the Central Plains leading scorer. Klepper will send it over to Maxwell. Maxwell will break the full court press up to Baker. Baker sends it into Dole. That one a little bit overthrown, as that's another turnover. It will be a Lady Oiler basketball. For Ellenwood, Allison McReynolds will check into the ball game and take the place of Bella Baker. Lady Oiler basketball. The inbound is into Ryan. Ryan guarded by Klepper in the full court press over on the far sideline. She'll go cross-court pass over to Lamish. Lamish now with it, drives in, kicks it over to Rugen for a mid-range jump shot. That one's good for her. Rugen on the night has 4. Jump ball there between Maxwell and Ryan will go in favor of Central Plains. Bella Baker will immediately check back right into the game and take the place of Allison McReynolds. Central Plains basketball underneath their own basket. The inbound is into Rugen from Ryan. Ryan wide open in the paint. Passes it over to Kreitz. Kreitz on the near side. She got fouled on her way up. She will head to the free throw line for 2. Kreitz so far in the ball game. She has 2 points so far, trying to make that 4. First free throw from her is no good off the right side of the rim. Her second one on the way. Second one from her bounces off, no good. Rebounded by Nixon of Central Plains. Nixon gets her own got the ball in the paint. Now it's out to Ryan. Ryan drives in, puts it up with the right hand. That one's good for her. Emily Ryan has 4 on the contest. The amount is into Mary Dimmitt. Dimmitt lost control of it, stolen by Central Plains. Emily Ryan tried to save the pass from Lamish, but that one went out of bounds and will be a Lady Eagles basketball. Maya Maxwell will inbound for the Eagles. The pass into Klepper. Klepper will kick it up to Dimmitt. Dimmitt with the basketball, trapped by Nixon and Kreitz. Nixon with the basketball off the steal. She'll put it up with a right-handed layup. That one's good for her. Nixon on the night has 6. Foul there against Central Plains. See who the foul is on. It will be the second team foul against Central Plains. That foul will be on Kreitz, her first personal. Checking into the ball game will be number 14, Brittany Simpson of Ellenwood. Simpson is a 5'8" freshman, and she will take the place of Mary Dimmitt. The inbound is into Baker from Maxwell. Baker will bring it past half court and find Dole guarded closely by Nixon. Baker there tried to throw to Klepper. That one's stolen by Nixon. She'll put it up with the right hand. That one's also good for her. She has 8 on the night. Baker will send it over to Klepper. Trying to break this full court press has been a problem for the Eagles so far tonight. Simpson will get a layup there off of breaking the full court press. Her first basket off the bench. Emily Ryan will take it over to the far side. Cross-court pass over to Lamish. Lamish now kicks it up top to Kreitz. Kreitz finds Rugen open for a mid-range shot. That one's good from her. Rugen has 6 so far in this one. Ellenwood trails 7-20 with 2:53 left to go in the first quarter. Another foul against the Lady Oilers. That foul looks to... It will actually be against Ellenwood. That foul is against Daphne Dole, her first personal second-team foul against Ellenwood. The inbound for Central Plains. It's up in the hands of Ryan at the top of the key. Swings it over to Nixon. Nixon back to Ryan. Ryan over to Lamish. Lamish over to Ryan. Ryan back over to Nixon. Wide open for 3 on the near side. That one not able to fall. Kreitz gets the offensive rebound. She'll get that one to go. Kreitz now has 4 points to her name early in this first quarter. Allison McReynolds of Ellenwood will check into the ball game and take the place of Daphne Dole. Ellenwood basketball. Maxwell inbound in front of the fans of Central Plains. She will inbound into Bella Baker. Baker will try and send it up court to McReynolds off the hands of Kreitz as she tried to save it, but was not able to convert. A substitution for Central Plains as Zoe Potter, a 5'5" senior, will check into the ball game and take the place of Kreitz. Ellenwood basketball. Maxwell will inbound. She will inbound into Klepper. Klepper almost lost control, but she'll send it over to Maxwell. Maxwell on the far side. He'll send it up top to Baker. Baker swings it over to the near side and Simpson. Simpson with the basketball gets a screen from McReynolds. Will overthrow a pass to Maya Maxwell. She tried to save it, but ended up in the hands of Central Plains. Up the court to Potter. Potter tries to swing it over to Emily Ryan. She will throw it off of the back side of the court. That one no good off the 3 from Nixon, rebounded by Ellenwood. Simpson will try and push a fast break. That one's stolen there by Rugen. Ryan with it. She'll save it and send it over to Rugen for 2. Good play there by Emily Ryan. Will give Rugen 8 points on the night. Jump ball between Baker and Rugen. This full court press of Central Plains definitely giving the Lady Eagles lots of issues here early. A few substitutions as Daphne Dole will come back into the game, as well as Allison McReynolds. The inbound is into Dimmitt from Baker. Dimmitt will find Daphne Dole on the Ellenwood side of half court. That one will go off of the foot of Dole, and it will be a Central Plains basketball. Central Plains basketball. Ryan has it guarded by Baker. She will send a bullet into Rugen. That one off of her hands. Rugen had nobody on her. She was wide open in the middle of the paint. Central Plains just not able to convert there. Allison McReynolds will inbound into Mary Dimmitt. Dimmitt will find Baker. Baker almost lost control of it, as that will be a backcourt violation against Ellenwood. Baker tried to throw behind her to Dimmitt. And that will be another turnover against the Lady Eagles. Central Plains off to a commanding 24-7 lead with 1:21 left to go in the first quarter. The pass over to Lamish. Lamish cross-court pass to Nixon. Nixon finds Potter. Potter looks inside to Rugen. That one's stolen by Ellenwood. And it will be Lady Eagle basketball. Daphne Dole pushing the fast break for Ellenwood. She'll take it over to Dimmitt at the top of the key. Dimmitt with the basketball, guarded closely by Emily Ryan. Picks up her dribble, sends it over to Allison McReynolds. Timeout taken by Ellenwood head coach Andrew Cherry in the first quarter with 59.6 left to go. Ellenwood trails 7-24. You're listening to the Eagle Sports Network on HB Communication Channel 76 and 820 and on YouTube. Welcome back, everyone. Caleb Bookout here with you, and at the game at Ness City on Saturday, my Maxwell had 24, a big game for her. She shot 41% from the field, looking to keep that same momentum here in this game. Maxwell will inbound into Klepper. Klepper on the near side, guarded closely by Nixon. Klepper will drive over to the far side elbow, almost lose control of the ball, which he will. Picked up by Emily Ryan with a wide open paint. She'll put it up for two with the right hand, no good. Fight for the rebound, ends up in favor of Ellenwood, out of bounds. Another substitution as Kreitz will come into the game. She will take the place of Rugen. Kreitz on the night so far has 4 points to her name and 1 foul. Inbound into Klepper. Klepper will break the full court press over on the far side. She'll send it back up to Maxwell. Maxwell finds Dimmitt on the near mid-range area, sends it inside to Dole. That shot blocked, rebound by Allison McReynolds. She was fouled on the far side block on the way up. She'll head to the free throw line for a chance at 2. McReynolds hasn't scored here yet tonight. Still scoreless so far in this one. The first one from her, no good off the back of the rim. 32.9 left to go in the first. Ellenwood still trails 7-24. Second free throw from her is good, putting her on the scoreboard. And it will be Central Plains basketball. Emily Ryan with it on the far side, cross-court pass to Lamish. Now back over to Ryan. Ryan over to Nixon. Nixon look inside to Kreitz. That one off the hands of Mary Dimmitt. Ellenwood basketball. Ashton Klepper will bring it up to the top of the key. Pull up for a jumper. That one no good off the backboard. Rebound is on the floor and in the hands of Central Plains. Emily Ryan with it now. Bring it to the Central Plains side of half court. Drive into the paint and kick it over to Potter. Potter for a 2. That one no good off the far side. Rebound from Kreitz at the buzzer. She'll get that one to go, putting her at 6 at the contest at the end of the first quarter. Ellenwood trails by a score of 8-26. Scoring-wise, Nixon has 8, Rugen has 8, Ryan only held to 4 in the first quarter. Kreitz has 6, and that is scoring-wise for Central Plains. For Ellenwood scoring-wise, Mary Dimmitt has 3, Allison McReynolds has 1, Bella Baker has 2, and Brittany Simpson has 2. Coming out of the first quarter break, start of the second quarter, it will be a Central Plains basketball. Lamish will inbound And to Ryan. Ryan at the logo will send it over to Nixon, back to Ryan. Ryan now over to Lamish. Lamish inside it, Nixon in the paint. Kicks it over to Kreitz, now over to Lamish. Emily Ryan wide open for three. That one is good for her. She has 7 on the night. Allenwood able to break the full court press as Mary Dimmitt's met with a trap, and she will force a jump ball on the near sideline. Maxwell will inbound. Maxwell will inbound into Klepper. That one's stolen there by Nixon. Nixon will send it up to Ryan, wide open in the paint. That one's good for her. Emily Ryan now the Lady Oilers leading scorer with 9 points on the night. Klepper got fouled on the pass attempt to Ryan. That foul will be on Rugen, her second personal. Bella Baker will sub into the ball game and take the place of Maya Maxwell. Ellenwood ball to inbound right in front of the scorer's table. Maxwell looking for somebody. She will inbound into Daphne Dole. Picks up her dribble and sends it over to Bella Baker. Baker will drive and kick it over to Klepper. Klepper back to Baker, who's at the three-point line. Now over to Dimmitt. Dimmitt will drive on the far side, put it up for 2. That'll get the friendly roll in. Mary Dimmitt has 5 points to her name so far in this first half. Central Plains basketball. Rugen with it will send it over to Ryan. Ryan cross-court pass to Lamish. Lamish over to Kreitz on the near block. Kreitz tried to throw it into Rugen, but Baker was able to come up with a jump ball. Jump ball will go in favor of Central Plains. Emily Ryan will inbound. The inbound will be into Rugen. Rugen will give it right back to Ryan. Ryan cross-court pass over to Lamish. Lamish now up top to Nixon. Nixon back over to Ryan for 3. Wide open. She'll knock that one down. Ryan has 12 on the night so far. Up-court pass to Baker, who was wide open off of the full-court press. That one's good. Elwood trying to find a rhythm, trying to get past that full-court press against Central Plains. Ryan will send it up to Rugen at the top of the key. Rugen will get that one almost stolen by Klepper. Klepper was able to come up from behind and tip the ball away from her hands. Another jump ball this time will go with the Lady Eagles. Maxwell will inbound. She will find Klepper. Klepper will now try and break the full court press. 2-on-1 situation. Sends it over to Baker. That one off of her shin ends up in the hands of Lamish. Now it is Central Plains basketball. Emily Ryan with it will drive on the near side block. Put it up for 2 with contact. Barely no good. Fight for the rebound ends up in the hands of Lamish of Central Plains. Kick now over on the far side to Rugen. That one off the leg of Bella Baker. Dimmitt has it on the floor, now stolen by Rugen. Rugen finds Ryan wide open for 3. That one off the back iron, no good. Rebound offensively of Kreitz. Kreitz sends it over to Lamish. Now over to Rugen. Rugen on the far side elbow, can't get it to go. Central Plains comes up empty-handed on that possession. Lady Eagle basketball. Baker will drive on the far side block and pass it straight into the hands of a Central Plain Oiler as Ryan has it on the fast break for 2. That one's good for her, putting her at 14 points on the night. 5:40 left to go here in this first half. Ellenwood trails 12-36. Mary Dimmitt put it up. That one rejected by Emily Ryan. Substitution in for Ellenwood as Allison McReynolds and Brittany Simpson will come into the ball game for Daphne Dole and Mary Dimmitt. Maxwell set to inbound underneath the Lady Eagles' own basket. She will into Baker. Baker on the far corner will now send it up top to Brittany Simpson. Simpson will drive, kick it over to Klepper. That one's stolen by Nixon. Nixon will put it up for 2. That one's good for her. Nixon in a double-figure scoring. She has 10 on the night. Baker will drive into the paint and kick it out to Maxwell. Maxwell will take a 3 of her own. That one off the back iron, no good. Rebounded by Lamish. Ryan will kick it up to Nixon. Nixon in some sort of deja vu in the same play she just had last possession. She now has 12 on the night. Pass there from Klepper intended for McReynolds. That one off the hands of Kreitz. Substitution in for Central Plains as number 13, Lexi Ozier will come into the ball game. She is a 5'7" junior. She will take the place of Cassidy Nixon. Klepper with the basketball will go over to the far side. She'll bring it back to the near side and find Maxwell in the near corner. Maxwell between the legs and now send it over to Baker. Baker tries to drive into the paint. That one bounced off her right knee out of bounds. as Central Plains now will inbound. Inbound will be into Ryan. Ellenwood still in a full court press of their own. Emily Ryan will now send it cross court over to Lamish. Lamish now inside to Rugen at the free throw line. That one no good. It will go in favor of Central Plains. Another timeout taken by Ellenwood's head coach Andrew Cherry with 4:40 left to go. Ellenwood trails 12-40. You're listening to the Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back here. Caleb Bookout here with you as it is Central Plains basketball off of the timeout. Emily Ryan has it on the far side three-point line, finds Lamish wide open for three. That one airballed over, shot no good. Rebounded by the Lady Eagles. Bella Baker with it and now send it over to Klepper on the near side. Klepper will pick up her dribble and send it back up top to Baker. Baker will try and send it inside to Simpson. That one tipped by Ozier. Ozier with it now on the near block. Will try and throw over to Ryan. That one out of bounds. Ellenwood substitution as Mary Dimmitt will come into the game for Bella Baker, and it will be Eagle basketball. Central Plains no longer in a full court press as Maxwell was easily able to inbound into Klepper. Klepper will bring it over to the near side in Simpson. Simpson guarded by Rugen, gets a screen and drives into the paint. Tries to kick it over to Allison McGrinnells. That one's stolen by Emily Ryan. Emily Ryan will now send it over to Rugen. That one's good. Rugen on the night has 10 points to her name as well. Klepper with it, almost got it stolen by Emily Ryan. Now send it over to Simpson. Simpson will pick up her dribble right outside of the paint and send it over to Klepper for a deep two. That one off the near side of the rim, no good. Rebounded by the Lady Oilers. Emily Ryan with it, a cross-court pass over to Lamish. Now over to Rugen on the far side elbow. Rugen back up top to Ryan. Ryan with the ball now, send it over to Ozier. Ozier back to Ryan. Ryan over to Lamish. Lamish inside to Rugen for an easy two. Nobody around her. That one's good for her. Rugen has 12 points to her name as well. Klepper with the basketball. Now send it over to Simpson. Simpson will pick up her dribble and try and send it to Dimmitt. Dimmitt for two. That one's good for her. Mary Dimmitt, the Lady Eagles' leading scorer with 7 on the night so far. Lady Oiler basketball. Ryan will send it over to Lamish on the near side. Lamish will pick up her dribble and send it over to Ryan. Ryan finds Kreitz. Kreitz tried to throw a cross-court pass over to Ozier, but it went off the bottom of the backboard. Steal there by Emily Ryan. Will send a bullet pass into Rugen for two. That one's good for her. She has 14. Emily Ryan really hasn't been as much of a threat scoring the ball. She's been playmaking the ball very well, finding the open teammate when needed, and being able to pick up a lot of assists so far in this game as Ashton Klepper picks up a deep two, putting her points on the board for the first time tonight. Ozier will send it over to Kreitz on the far side, block for two. That one's good for her. Kreitz has 8 on the night so far as well. Klepper with the basketball, send it over to the far side and Simpson. Simpson will try and get past Emily Ryan or Rugen. That one's stolen by Rugen. She'll put it up with the left hand. That one's good for her. Another timeout taken by Ellenwood with 2:09 left to go in the second quarter. Ellenwood trails 16-50. Welcome back. Caleb Bookout here with you. As Ellenwood trying to find a spark of momentum offensively to try and go on a run and decrease this lead. Dimmitt had the ball stolen by Ryan. Ryan will dive on the floor with a great look over to Ozier. Ozier will put it up with the left hand. That one's good for her. Her first points off of the bench. Ellenwood basketball. Dole will drive straight into the paint. That one's stolen by Central Plains in the hands of Ryan. Baker trying to come back defensively. Ryan will get fouled and one. Emily Ryan will head to the free throw line with 16 points to her name so far in this first half. Ashton Klepper will check into the ball game and take the place of Gracie Schlesinger, and for Central Plains, Brianna Hammocky will come into the ball game and take the place of Rugen. The and one free throw from Emily Ryan will fall for her. She has 17 points on the night. Lady Eagle basketball. Klepper with it will swing it over to Dole. Dole finds Baker on the near side. Baker now up top to Dole. Dole now over to Klepper on the far side. Klepper trying to throw it inside to McReynolds. That pass overthrown. Ozier with the basketball, send it over to Ryan. Ryan inside to Kreitz. Kreitz back up to Ryan, wide open. That three no good, off the mark, rebounded by the Lady Eagles. Klepper with the basketball now on the far side, guarded by Emily Ryan. That pass stolen there by, that pass was stolen by Jenna Jeffrey. Central Plains basketball. Emily Ryan will inbound. Inbound is straight into Kreitz, who puts it up for two. That one's good. Kreitz has 10 points on the night after that made basket. Exactly a minute left. Ellenwood trails 16 to 57. Bella Baker with it will drive to the top of the key and find it Maxwell. Maxwell swings it over to Dimmitt. A few feet behind the three-point line. She'll pick it up near the Central Plains logo and send it over to Klepper. Klepper, guarded by Kreitz, will send it over to Maxwell. Maxwell gets a screen from Klepper, picked up by Kreitz off of the switch, off the screen. Dole will force her way inside for two. That one off the back rim, no good. Gets her own rebound, tries to put it on the floor, picked up by Maxwell. That one won't go either. Central Plains is not pushing the tempo. Ryan with it. She'll take it straight into the paint with the Euro step. That one good for Emily Ryan with the right hand. She has 19 on the night. Another steal for Central Plains. Emily Ryan has it again. She'll put it up one more time for 21 points in the first half. Another steal from Central Plains as Ozier will take a pull-up three. That one no good. Rebounded by Maxwell. 0 seconds left on the shot clock. She put up a shot. That one off the top of the backboard. And at the end of the second quarter, your Ellenwood Lady Eagles trail Central Plains by a score of 16 to 61. We will be right back with the start of the third quarter. I'm Caleb Bookout, and you're listening to the Eagle Sports Network, live on YouTube and on H&B Communications. Hello, everyone, and welcome back here to Central Plains. About 30 seconds before the third quarter gets started, scoring-wise for Central Plains. Nixon has 12, Rugen has 16, Emily Ryan has 21, and Kreitz has 10, as well as Osier has 2. For Ellenwood, Klepper has 2, Dimmitt has 7, McReynolds has 1, Baker has 4, and Simpson has 2. Central Plains will start off with the basketball. The inbound will be into Ryan. Ryan over to Lamish. Lamish back to Ryan. Ryan over to Nixon. Nixon over to Rugen. Rugen inside to Kreitz on the near block. She'll put it up for 2. That one's good. Great ball movement there by Central Plains. They were able to swing it all the way around and find a basket. Klepper with it on now. Send it over to Dole. Dole take it up top to Maxwell. Maxwell pick up the pass and send it over to Dimmitt. Dimmitt guarded closely by Ryan. Dimmitt will give it over to Klepper. Klepper now goes cross-court over to Maxwell. That one off the hands of Rugen will remain Lady Eagle basketball. Inbound from Maxwell into Klepper goes off of the leg of Rugen once again, as Ellenwood will inbound just a few more steps to the left than they did last time. The inbound this time will be into Dimmitt. Dimmitt with it. That one's stolen there by Ryan. Ryan will take it all to the paint by herself, nobody around her. That will put her at 23 on the night. Ellenwood basketball. Klepper trying to break down Ryan. Will send it over to Maxwell. Maxwell will drive baseline. Now kick it out to Dimmitt. That one's stolen by Nixon. Now over to Emily Ryan with the left hand. Looking like it's easy for her. She has 25 so far, and the third quarter is just about a minute underway. Klepper with the basketball, looking for an open teammate. She'll try and send it over to Dole on the far side. Dole guarded by Ryan will get a screen from McReynolds. She'll drive to the free throw line and kick it out to Dimmitt for 3. Dimmitt's had a pretty solid night scoring-wise. Not able to convert there, but she'll grab her own rebound. Dimmitt on the night has 7, and she's the Eagles' leading scorer. That pass there stolen by Nixon. She'll put it up for 2. That one's good, putting her at 14 points on the night. Ellenwood basketball. Klepper will bring it over to the near side where she's met by Nixon. Now she'll try and send it inside. That one's stolen by Central Plains. Rugen has it. She'll send it up top to Ryan. Ryan sends it over to Nixon. Nixon for 2. That one is good. She has 16. Eagle basketball. Klepper with it on the near side. Now she'll send it over to Maxwell. Maxwell trying to force one inside to Dole off the hands of Kreitz. Sends it up in the hands of Dimmitt, who passes it out to McReynolds. McReynolds now over to Klepper, now over to Maxwell, now over to McReynolds. McReynolds will send it over to Dole over on the far side, into the far side elbow, and Dimmitt. Klepper will take a 3 of her own off the pass from Dimmitt. That one falls short, gets her own rebound at the free throw line. I'll kick it to Maxwell. She'll pump fake, drive and take a mid-range shot. That one bounces in and out, no good. Rebounded by the Lady Oilers. Lamish will now push up the fast break for Ellenwood for Central Plains. That one will up in the hands of Ashton Klepper. Klepper with the basketball, send it over to Maxwell, who wasn't paying attention. That one will fall out of bounds, and it will be Central Plains basketball. Substitution as Bella Baker will come into the ball game, taking the place of Ashton Klepper for Ellenwood. Central Plains basketball. The inbound is into Emily Ryan. Ryan will send it over to Nixon. Nixon now over to Ryan. Ryan over to Lamish. Lamish with the basketball now. Cross-court pass over to Ryan. Ryan will take a 3. That one will fall for her, putting Ryan at 28 so far here in this one. The limit that I have on my paper goes up to 40, so hopefully she doesn't get past that mark. That'll make my life a whole lot easier. Another turnover against the Lady Eagles will result in Central Plains basketball. 4:57 left to go in the second half. Central Plains leads 74-16. Emily Ryan, she'll take another 3 wide open. She'll be able to knock that one down. She has now broken into the 30s and has 31. Maxwell guarded closely by Ryan. Tries to send it over to Dimmitt. That one tipped by Ryan. Ellenwood basketball. Maxwell will inbound straight into Baker. Baker will take it over to the far side. Try and throw it to Maxwell. That one's stolen by Ryan. Ryan will throw a short pass over to Nixon for 2. That one is good for her. Nixon has 18 on the night, nearing that 20-point mark herself. Timeout taken by Ellenwood head coach Andrew Cherry in the third quarter with 4:27 left to go. Central Plains leads 79-16. You're listening to the Eagle Sports Network. Welcome back here. Caleb Bookout here with you. And Ellenwood will start off with the ball after the timeout. Baker has it on the near side, guarded closely by Nixon. She'll send it up to the top of the key in McReynolds. McReynolds inside to Dole. Dole will take a layup on the far side block, barely no good. Rebounded by the Lady Oilers. Lamish will now send it up top to Ryan. Ryan drives, kicks it out to Rugen. Rugen will drive, she'll kick it out to Ryan. Ryan will take a three. That one barely in and out, no good. Rebounded by Dole of Ellenwood. Daphne Dole will send it up to Maxwell. That one's stolen by Ryan. Ryan throws it up top to Lamish. Lamish now over to Nixon. Nixon for two with contact. She's not able to get that one to go, but she was fouled in the process by Dole, and she'll head to the line for two. That's Dole's second personal, first team foul of the half against Ellenwood. First free throw from Nixon falls no good. Stepping into the game for the Lady Eagles will be Ashton Klepper. She'll take the place of Daphne Dole. Second free throw now coming up for Nixon. That one will go for her, putting her at 19. And Central Plains has at the 80-point mark as a team. Still there by Lamish of Central Plains. She'll put it up for a right-handed layup. That one's good for her. Her first basket of the night late here in this ball game. Klepper with a basketball by the Central Plains logo. Will find Dimmitt on the near side. Dimmitt will get a screen from Baker, not use it, and take it over to the far side. Picks up her dribble and sends it back to Baker on the near side. Baker will drive, pick up her dribble, kick it back out to Dimmitt. Dimmitt will pump fake, pick up her dribble, send it back over to Baker. Baker now guarded closely by Rugen, will send it over to Maxwell. Maxwell lost control of it and threw it off the hands of Emily Ryan. And Maya Maxwell will inbound right in front of the Ellenwood Spirit squad. Maxwell looking for an open teammate. She will throw it into Baker, wide open in the paint. She'll put it up for two, blocked from behind by Lamish. Picked up there by Emily Ryan. Ryan will throw it up court to Kreitz. Kreitz will put it up with the right hand. That one's good for her. She has 14 points to her name so far in this one. Klepper with the basketball for the Lady Eagles, right by the Claflin logo. And I'll send it over to Baker. Baker with it, gets a screen from McReynolds. Will drive into the paint and kick it cross court over to Klepper. Klepper threw it off the head of Dimmitt, and that one's stolen by Central Plains. Lamish with it, and I'll send it over to Rugen. Rugen wasn't paying attention, but luckily Emily Ryan was there to pick it up. Ryan will send it over to Nixon on the near side. Nixon back over to Ryan. Ryan at the Central Plains logo will send it back over to Nixon. Nixon now up top to Rugen. Rugen over to Lamish. Lamish over to Ryan. Wide open. Doesn't take a three. Decides to send it over to Nixon in the far side short corner. That one no good. Rebound ends up in the hands of Central Plains. Rugen with it on the near corner. She'll drive, kick it to Ryan. Ryan cross-court pass over to Nixon. Nixon thought about the three, chose against it, but Emily Ryan will take one of her own. That one's good for her. Emily Ryan with 34 points on the night. Klepper will send it over to Baker. Baker will drive, put it up with the right hand. That one no good. Rebounded by the Lady Oilers. Kick up to Emily Ryan. She'll call out this play for the Central Plains Lady Oilers. She'll send it over to Kreitz on the far side. Cross-court pass over to Nixon. Nixon now over to Ryan. Ryan over to Lamish. Lamish now over to Rugen. Rugen for 2. That one no good. Rebounded by Ellenwood. Maxwell has it on the near side. She'll send it over to Klepper. Klepper will go cross court up top to Mary Dimmitt. Dimmitt will send it over to Baker. 1:30 left to go in the third. Ellenwood trails 16 to 87. That shot from McReynolds no good. Rebounded by the Lady Oilers. Emily Ryan has it. She'll send it over to Lamish. Cross-court pass now to Nixon. Nixon now finds Kreitz in the near side short corner. Ryan will send it over to Lamish for a 3. That one for her does not fall good. Offensive rebound. Put up and in. Good by Kreitz. That's her 16th point on the night. Eagle basketball. Dimmitt has it now at the top of the key. She'll pick up her dribble. Get fouled in the process of trying to pass it over to Baker. That foul will be against Lamish. Her first personal against Central Plains. 2 substitutions for Ellenwood as Daphne Dole and Brittany Simpson will come into the ball game for Allison McReynolds and Mary Dimmitt. Maxwell inbound right in front of the Central Plains fans. Looking for someone. She'll try and force one over to Klepper. That one off of her hands, falls out of bounds, and it will be Central Plains basketball. Inbound into Emily Ryan. Ryan will send it over to Lamish. Lamish will hold the ball, try and run out the remainder of this 43 seconds in the third quarter. Ryan has it at the Oiler logo. Guarded by Klepper closely. Now she'll send it over to Lamish. Now back up top to Ryan. Ryan almost had it stolen by Klepper. 30 seconds remain in the third. Ryan will now send it over to Lamish. Lamish back to Ryan. Ryan still just kind of running the remainder of the clock out. She'll take it back to the Central Plains logo and send it over to Nixon. Nixon now over to Ryan. Ryan back over to Nixon. Nixon back over to Ryan. Ryan over to Lamish. Lamish inside to Nixon. Nixon over to Kreitz. Kreitz inside to Rugen. Rugen now sent it up top to Lamish. That one stolen by Brittany Simpson. 2 seconds left. Will put up a force 3. That one off the backboard, no good. Ryan will throw up a heave. That one also no good. And at the end of 3, Ellenwood trails 16 to 89. The Eagles were scoreless in the entire third quarter. Ellenwood went into the half down 16 to 61, and now they trail 16 to 89. We'll be right back here with you. You're listening to the Eagles Sports Network on HB Communications and live on YouTube. The final quarter of play set to get underway here. Ellenwood will start off with the basketball, trailing 16 to 89. Maxwell has it at half court. She'll send it over to Simpson on the near side. Simpson with it will drive over to the far side and find Maxwell. Maxwell's guarded closely. Now sends it up top to Simpson. Simpson will drive and find Baker. Baker will drive baseline, put it up for 2. She was fouled. She'll head to the free throw line for 2. Bella Baker on the night has 4 points to her name. The personal foul will be against Osier of Central Plains. It's her first personal. The first free throw from Baker is no good. Second one from her, no good. Rebounded by Central Plains. Osier will send it over to Nixon. A few substitutions for Central Plains as Potter is into the ball game. Hammocky is into the ball game, as well as Jeffries into the ball game. Hammocky will now send it over to Nixon. That one's stolen by Simpson. Simpson wide open. She'll put it up for a layup. That one's good for her. Brittany Simpson has 4 points here in this one. Central Plains basketball. Nixon will send it over to Hammocky. Hammocky up top to Osier. Osier now over to Jeffrey. Jeffrey over to Nixon on the near corner. Nixon will now send it up top to Jeffrey. Jeffrey finds Hammocky. Hamke now over to Jeffrey. Ozier now over to Nixon. Back to Jeffrey. Jeffrey will take a three of her own. That one falls short on the near side of the rim. No good. Ellenwood basketball. Simpson pushing it up the floor. Finds Klepper. Klepper finds Baker. Baker will pick up her dribble for a three. That one no good. Rebounded by Dole of Ellenwood. Dole put it on the floor and put it up for two. With contact, no good. But it will remain Eagle basketball. Just about 6:05 left to go in the final quarter of play. Ellenwood trails 18-89. Baker will send it over to Maxwell. Maxwell take a pull-up jumper herself. That one's good for her. Maya Maxwell finally gets on the board. Better late than ever with her first 2 points of the contest. Lady Oiler basketball. Jeffrey with it now. We'll send it up top to Ozier. Ozier now sings it over to Hamke. Hamke over to Nixon. Nixon tries to drive baseline. That one poked by Maya Maxwell out of bounds. And it will be Central Plains basketball to throw in underneath their own goal. Set to throw in, looks to be Nixon. She will into Ozier. Ozier finds Jeffrey on the near side. Jeffrey tried to throw into Potter. That one's stolen by Dole. Klepper with it now, past half court for the Eagles. She'll send it up top to Baker. Baker will drive, kick it back out to Klepper. Klepper now over to Simpson. Simpson pump fakes, drives, kicks it over to Maxwell. Maxwell will take a three. That one overshot, no good. Saved by Baker. Ends up in the hands of Klepper. Good hustle there from Ellenwood as Maxwell has it. Finds Klepper on the near side. Klepper will drive. That one's stolen by Hamke. Hamke will wait and give it to the ball handler. Ozier has it now. Send it over to Nixon. Nixon now over to Jeffrey. Jeffrey over to Nixon. Nixon over to Hamke. Hamke with it now, looking for someone. Cross-court pass back to the near side and Jeffrey. Nixon will take a three from the top of the key. That one's good for her. Nixon has 22 points on the night. Simpson with it now on the near side for the Lady Eagles. She'll get a screen from Dole. Dole will find Klepper. Klepper back to Simpson on the near side block. That one's good for her. Brittany Simpson scoring the ball effectively in this fourth. She has 6 to her name so far in this one. Hamke now tries to send it to Nixon. That one's stolen by Brittany Simpson, but ends up in the hands of Central Plains. Hamke has it now. That one almost stolen again by Simpson, but ends up in the hands of Nixon. 4 minutes left to play. Ellenwood trails 92-22. Kick over to Jeffrey. Jeffrey now sends it up top to Nixon. Now over to Hamke off the pass from Ozier. Nixon has it now, swings it over to Jeffrey. Jeffrey inside for a paint shot from Ozier. That one's good, right about a half step in front of the free throw line. Ozier has 4. Klepper with the ball, swing it over to Baker. Baker will send it back over to Klepper. Klepper will put it up for 2. That one no good, rebounded by Nixon. She ends up on the floor. She was fouled on the process. That one looks to be against Daphne Dole. It will be against Daphne Dole. That is her 3rd personal. Mary Dimmitt will come in and take the place of Bella Baker. Running clock surely made these last 2 quarters go by pretty fast. Central Plains ball. Nixon will send it over to Hamke. Hamke back up top to Nixon. Nixon will drive into the paint and find Potter. Potter will put it up for 2. That one's good for her. Her first basket of the ball game. As Central Plains looks for the big 100. Mary Dimmitt with an owl. Find Maxwell on the near side. Maxwell will get a screen from Dole. She'll pick up her dribble and send it into Dole. Backing down Potter. She'll put it up with the right hand. That one no good. Rebounded by Hamke. Hamke will now find Nixon. Nixon now finds Jeffrey. Back to Nixon, now over to Hamke. Hamke back up top to Nixon, now over to Jeffrey. Jeffrey inside to Potter. That one's stolen by Dole, but ends up in the hands of Central Plains once again. Hamke will take a 3. That one no good. Rebound in the hands of Ozier of the Lady Oilers. Pass there intended for Nixon, stolen by Simpson. Simpson will drive, put it up with the right hand. That one's good. Brittany Simpson has 8 so far. She's the Eagles' leading scorer here in this one. 2 minutes left. Lady Oiler basketball. Ellenwood trails 96-24. Cross-court pass over to Hamke. Now back up top to Jeffrey. Jeffrey will take a 3. That one's good for her. Jeffrey, with her first point on the night, comes big in a 3. Maxwell with it over on the far side, and I'll swing it over to Dimmitt. Dimmitt finds Dole. Dole will drive and put it up for 2. That one Off the mark, no good. Rebound, Central Plains. Lady Oiler basketball, send it over to Jeffrey. Jeffrey now over to Nixon. Nixon will send it over to Hammocky. Hammocky up top to Nixon. Nixon now over to Jeffrey. Jeffrey finds Ozier. Ozier back up top to Nixon. Now over to Jeffrey. Jeffrey inside to Ozier. Ozier now over to Nixon. Now up top to, to Hammocky. Now up top to Nixon. It looks as though Central Plains will pass the ball around and drain the remainder of the clock, not go for 100, because I think their scoreboard only is fit for 2 numbers, so going any over wouldn't be possible. Nixon has the ball, sends it over to Hammocky. Hammocky guarded closely by Dimmitt. The pass there intended for Nixon, stolen by Ellenwood in the hands of Klepper. Klepper will bring it over to the near side where she finds Maxwell. Maxwell will drive to the top of the key. She will be fouled by Nixon. That's the 3rd team foul against Central Plains. 2nd personal foul against Nixon. Allison McReynolds will come in for the final 15 seconds of play for Brittany Simpson. Also, Lamish will come into the ball game and take the place of Nixon. With running clock, that will be the ball game. So at the end of this one here in Claflin, Kansas, the Central Plains Lady Oilers defeat your Ellenwood Lady Eagles by a score of 99-24. Scoring-wise for Central Plains, Lamish had 2, Nixon had 22, Rugen had 16, Emily Ryan exited the ball game with 34, Kreitz had 16, Ozier had 4, Potter had 2, and Jeffrey had 3. For Ellenwood, Klepper had 2, Maxwell had 2, Dimmitt had 7, McReynolds had 1, Baker had 4, and Simpson had 8. Central Plains Lady Oilers will move up to 7-0 on the season, and right after this we will have the boys game live streamed here for you on the Eagle Sports Network. Thank you for listening to this broadcast of your Ellenwood Lady Eagles. This was brought to you by H&B Communications and live on YouTube. I'm Caleb Bookout. Join us for the men's game. Thank you for listening.